In today's video, I'm going to explain 4 big mistakes I made in planting seedlings. Now, I did it for the first time that I've ever done it, and I planted 1,080 seed cells, you know, those trays of 6. They're about like an inch wide, and they were like a couple inches deep. And I planted 1,080 of them, and guys, about 90% of them are dead. And it's because I made some newbie mistakes. It was my first time doing it, but I'm going to explain 4 things that I did wrong and what you can do to prevent what I did wrong so your seedlings grow and thrive into beautiful, beautiful plants like these ones. So the first mistake I made with doing seedlings was that I did not have adequate light. I had a string of light bulbs up, but it wasn't very even lighting, and I didn't use it very much during the day. And I didn't have them really get much natural sunlight either. And so what happened was that our plants started getting really leggy. They had stems that were really long and very brittle. The second big mistake that I made was that I did not have any wind on our plants. So the stems were extremely brittle. They hadn't had any wind to kind of help them sway back and forth and firm up. Because of that, once I moved them outside, a lot of the stems just snapped in half within the first day or 2. A third big mistake I made in planting seedlings was that I would just plant or water the plants shallowly from the top. And because of that, most of the moisture resided, you know, in the top part of the little planter seed trays, and the roots were not incentivized to go down deep. And a fourth big mistake I made with planting seedlings was that I did not prepare them for the temperature shock. They were basically in the same temperature. They were pampered. They were inside all day, every day. The windows were not open. They were not getting breeze. Some of them grew this like white mold on them. When I brought them outside, you know, within a couple days, the majority of the plants had died. The only thing I have left now are these plants, you know, that have thicker stems. Anyway, those are 4 mistakes that I made this year that cost me probably 3/4 of our seedlings. These first 2 rows are plants that I planted from seed that have survived so far. Some of them have died. You can see there's one here that died that I have to replace. Some of the stems snapped but aren't fully dead. So for example, here you can see there's a stem that is still kicking, but half of it's like missing. So I don't really know what to expect there. That plant might die, it might survive. You can see right here, here's an example of a stem that wasn't strong enough. It's broken right there. So we'll see if that survives or not. A lot of these are squash or melon plants. You can see a lot of, I don't know what causes this. Comment below if you know what causes it, but a lot of them have these stems that are kind of opened up, that kind of cracked open or burned open or something. Some of them look pretty healthy, like this guy right here. This guy looks like our all-star. You know, take out a little weed there. So next year, if I do seedlings, I'm gonna do it differently. I'm gonna have a fan. I'm going to let it be outside more. I'm gonna give it more natural sunlight sooner. I'm gonna make sure that if I water it from the top down, that I really soak the dirt so the roots can dig down deep to get that water.